Hey everyone, nerdygymbros here. We're going to talk about our theories on what we hope is going to happen in the next Splinter Cell. So as a lot of you know, Sam Fisher made an appearance in Wildlands, and one, he still looks like a badass. Michael Ironside was voicing him, which is always a thumbs up in my book. I'm happy that he's back. I enjoyed the other guy too. I don't remember his name right now, but I thought he did a good job. But Michael Ironside revoiced him for Wildlands. And how did it end again?
They were called off.
Sam was called off by Anna for, I think the code name was Empty Quiver, you said?
Yeah.
And basically what that means is that there's someone somewhere stole a nuclear device, right?
I believe that's what it meant.
But so I wonder, I guess, because what you told me about it was that it takes place 7 years after the events of Blacklist.
Yeah, that's what the Wildlands Sam Fisher appearance took place and was 7 years after.
So I wonder. I mean, I wonder if the next Splinter Cell is gonna to take place there, or are we gonna do something in that 7 years? Or I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Professional one is still around, so
yeah. So I mean, obviously, we still have the paladin and everything. The giant plane, in case some of you have forgotten, that we float around with, and I love that plane. That plane was fantastic. But I hope Coben's still in the cell because he's gonna be pissed.
Part of the team?
Not quite. That was a terrible Sam impression.
That
was awful. So I'm kind of hoping that I don't know if I'd rather straight after the events of Blacklist and cleaning up what was the guy's name?
Sadiq.
Sadiq's operation and everything. He was MI6, wasn't he?
I think he was former MI6, maybe.
Yeah. So
it's been a while.
I remember he was blacklisted, and then something happened, and I don't really remember the story that much.
Actually, I don't even know if he was blacklisted. I just remember that he had his. What do I call him?
Maybe he got burned. I don't remember, but either way, he went bad, and then he was the one causing the problems, and he was the bad guy. And then we spoiler alert, then we capture him at the end of the game, and so I would be okay, basically cleaning up, and because obviously there's gonna be a bunch of chaos because you don't have the leader anymore. So I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, but in cleaning up the stuff, talking about like a story idea, to just be cleaning up that. I mean, there's no driving.
I know there's no driving force. So
I mean, you have.
There's no oh my god, there was going to be. Well, wasn't there an operation after that he was planning? Because remember, we have to stop certain operations that we had a name of, and then there was I can't remember, but I really wasn't there one last operation.
I don't know, because the operation that we stopped, I mean, he caught all those political leaders and all that in I want to say the one bunker in the States. I can't recall the name of something Camp David? Maybe, something. Anyways, regardless, I don't remember if there was another operation that he had planned after that. I mean, in that case, yeah, I mean, you could do that, but I mean,
once again, you lost the main antagonist because he's sitting there giving you the information and whatnot. So I guess, scratch that.
Because with looking back at the Splinter Cells that we played, and we played one back on the PlayStation 2, but I don't remember any of the story of that one.
We
had Double Agent. The ones I can remember specifically are Double Agent, Conviction, and Blacklist.
We played another one. I can't remember the name of it. Not coming to me.
But in Double Agent and Conviction and Blacklist, I mean, like any game, you have the specific linear game. You have the specific areas that the mission takes place in, and that's not a problem for me. But you always with Double Agent, you had balancing what
that was
the whole Double Agent status that you're doing with all that crap that was going on during that. And throughout it, I mean, you're dealing with this organization and what they're doing, the main story and everything.
Lambert.
Yeah. And then in Conviction, the story was, Sam hunting down his daughter because...
I love that story so much. It honestly is my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely.
It was so intense. The music was spot on. I mean, we had to watch that trailer with the piano at least a couple hundred times. I mean, it was just brilliant.
And the story itself, to me personally, I enjoyed that story a lot.
I like personal stories,
Yeah.
And I also like revenge stories.
And with that story, I mean, you're finding out about like what happened with Lambert, what happened with your daughter, the fact that the leader of Third Echelon, Reed, has.
He kind of looked like a bad version of Neo.
I
just mean because he always had like that long coat on and he had longer hair.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you had that overarching.
He was a dick.
Yeah, you had the overarching story of the Third Echelon stuff, and then you had the personal story with you and your daughter, your personal story with Vic as he's narrating throughout the thing, which to me was a huge bonus.
Yeah.
And that had that story.
It was an intense. I see what you mean though. I mean, because it was so story driven and so intense with both of them.
And then with Blacklist, once again you have the whole thing with Sadiq. What's going on? Granted, you didn't know what his name was at the beginning of it, but you have the whole operation that happened at the beginning when Vic gets injured. You have, and I mean, you have the new character of Charlie. You work with Grim. You work with the new dude Briggs. And you recapture Coben and work with him again, which
that
was
made me so
hilarious.
That was amazing. Coben is just
that entire sequence of rescuing Coben was just holy shit, he's actually saving me. But and you have
I love how he hits the van and just falls off.
And you have some of the new cast, you have some of the old cast from Conviction carrying over into it, and then you have the overarching story of what's going on with Sadiq, and you have Sam's trying to in a way get revenge because of what happened to Vic, but also being in control and being a dick really. Cause
that was the hardest part for me in Blacklist because because we played the original Splinter Cell on the PlayStation 2. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
It might have just been called Splinter Cell for
it might have been. It wasn't Chaos Theory, it was just, I think, maybe it was just called Splinter Cell. And then you had Double Agent, which I absolutely loved. I mean, that took what made... I loved the original Splinter Cell, but when Double Agent, with how intense that story was and how dark that story was, I mean, that was absolutely amazing. Then Conviction completely just sold my heart, and to me, still probably one of my top 10 games as far as just story and just the intensity of it all, because it always felt like you were always one step behind Reed, but there was always like these high stakes, and I love that.
Yeah.
And the hardest part for me for Blacklist was Sam being such a dick to everybody.
But to be honest, Sam is just kind of straightforward, no nonsense.
I know,
but prior to.
But the thing is, he worked by himself for so long, so I cut him slack there because he's not really a people person.
Yeah.
His people person is grabbing people and shoving them into urinals and things like that.
The mirror.
Yeah, the mirror.
I actually missed
piano.
I missed
the interrogation scenes. That was
fantastic.
So fun. So like that was my biggest problem with Blacklist is that he was such a dick to everybody. To Briggs. To he wasn't that big of a dick to Charlie.
I think it's just because he was a friend of Vic's.
Yeah.
Or that Vic.
Or Vic liked him. So Coben. He can do whatever he wants to Coben and makes me happy every time. Anna,
his relationship with Coben is just classic, honestly.
Yeah. Then with Anna, I think he was a bit short with her. Yeah. So.
And then he had his daughter, who he had phone calls with, which I enjoyed, just because it shows that has that bit of human side to him still. Even though he's a soldier behind the lines type of guy, there's still that part of him that's still human, still has. And he still cares, but they didn't. Where in Conviction we were chasing after Sarah and trying to rescue her.
You gotta remember, like you look at Double Agent, where he had nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Because of what Lambert did and everything, he had nothing. He had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Then in Conviction, there's this little trace that Sarah could be alive, and he just goes balls to the walls.
Just jumps right back into it.
Without not even thinking twice about it.
Just because of the chance of finding Sarah again. Mm-hmm. And then in Blacklist, we had phone calls with her, and granted, I would like to, I wouldn't want her in Paladin or anything like that, just because that doesn't make any sense. But just having the phone calls with her to let Sam have that connection with his daughter still, I appreciated that for what it was. But even throughout Blacklist, even though Sam was sort of a dick through 75% of it, probably.
75. It was like after a certain mission where he finally got his head back on straight and he realized that he doesn't. Like I said, I cut him slack because after I played through this story, I think 3 or 4 times. And I cut him slack about the second and a half, third time through it because what finally hit me was he's worked alone his entire life. And now he's just thrown into this team, which he's not used to having to rely on anyone. He
doesn't want to.
I mean, there's Vic, who is his brother, basically his brother, and his daughter, and that's the 2 people he cares about most. So I mean, to be thrown in with these bunch of unknowns.
Yeah,
I get why he was so standoffish. I get why he's a dick, and that's what I said. I cut him slack for that.
I still give Charlie credit for having the balls to try to, ask Sam for Sarah's number at like the beginning of the game.
I don't give him credit. That's just stupid. You know what the man does.
I know, but it's still funny that.
Oh, it was hysterical.
I remember he was like asking for a number, or what he was asking for.
Because he tried to do it like real suave too with Sam, and Sam basically
just stared dead-eyed. Like, you fucking kidding me? I will cut your balls off with this knife that Nick just gave me.
I like Charlie. Charlie was humor. Charlie was good.
I like Charlie a lot. He was awesome.
I think one of my favorite scenes in Blacklist was the whole plane scene.
Yeah.
And Tobin being a hero. Who knew? Who knew? But far as the next one go, I'm like, wow, we really went off topic there.
Well, the point of why I was explaining that was that because you were talking about how cleaning up the Blacklist stuff immediately, is that with every single one of those stories, regardless of your opinion on which story was better, which one was worse, they had these main antagonists. They had these overarching, okay, there's shit on the line that if you fail, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, so I take back what I said earlier, though, not about. I take what I said earlier away as far as cleaning up after it, because after going through all of that, that doesn't sound fun anymore. So back to our original, what we were talking about before we started filming was the nuclear one, which I think that has the most stakes to it. Was it one nuke? Was it multiple nukes? Or was it the ability to create nukes?
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. We didn't get that information, but in the thing that I read, it was Sam said the information that you get when you're working with Sam that he explains is that what he got could end the intelligence communities. The technology that could come of it could end the intelligence communities.
Basically, his job.
His job is not just his
job. So
are
they trying to stop that intelligence, or just give the intelligence for 4th echelon, or?
What I think, granted I don't know, but what I think with what they're talking about is they're talking about a technology that can end intelligence communities. So you're talking about something.
So we're talking like future soldier technology, but even then though they were still on the ground.
Well, yes. And granted, I wish they would have made another Future Soldier just because Future Soldier was fucking amazing. But I think the kind of technology we're talking about, or that they're kind
Tom Clancy did that one. Not did that one, but it was a Tom Clancy game.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
It was a Ghost Recon game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But the kind of technology you're talking about, you're going futuristic, where my guess is the world becomes even more connected through technology than we currently are, where...
Are we talking about nanobots?
It could be nanomachines all over again, but it could also be something where we're talking about like a Watch Dogs 2 CTOS. It could be any, because I don't have that much of technological...
iRobot?
It could be like an iRobot thing, but I don't have the knowledge about futuristic technology to theorize every kind of path that it can go, but...
We're waiting.
Yeah, but that kind of thing that could end the intelligence communities, that's dangerous in itself. Just the kind
That's
of
the
power
type of writing, burning the world type of power.
Yeah. So
I just mean because all of a sudden everything will be out there and 90% of people will be like, get the pitchforks.
Yeah. So with that information of itself that he was grabbing, that hints at some kind of big danger anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But then you bring into the fact that these nukes have been stolen as well. we could be dealing with another group, which tends to be the kind of Splinter Cell thing. I mean, Double Agent was whatever the name of the group was that we were infiltrating. I don't remember their
And
names.
like, dude, you don't remember the last time I played that
Conviction
game?
was Third Echelon, being the bad guys, basically.
Oh yeah, that was. It was Third Echelon.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was like, I don't know who I thought they
Blacklist
were.
was Sadiq's people.
Right.
So, what we might be
But
doing,
obviously, we would ever have.
if we're talking about this game taking place post,
Who was the bad guys in Future Soldier?
they were. I think they were some kind. They were secrets, not secret society in the essence of like Illuminati kind of stuff, but they were a secret. It's the only word I could think of right now, secret society, but it was like a group of.
Just stick with secret
Yes,
organization.
it was a secret organization. I couldn't think of any other kind of way to describe it. Secret organization that was. I want to say it was based in Russia. Or some, because we ended up rescuing a Russian dude, the president dude, from a prison as
That's right.
and then we had to go to Russia and fight. No,
That game
Trinity
was
were-
compatible.
might be. I was gonna say Trinity, but that's Tomb Raider.
Who knew? Worlds collide.
I remember Kozak seeing a tattoo on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I want to say it was some kind of secret organization.
Within Russian.
Kind of thing, and that they had enough pull that our American Army leader, I think voiced by Steve Blum, based on what little I can remember of his voice, told us that we couldn't touch him, and we left him on the railroad.
Wasn't it the loophole of he said we can't touch you?
Yeah,
That was
he
actually
didn't say that we had to rescue you, only so that we weren't allowed to kill him, personally kill him. Which I thought was an amazing ending anyways. But we went through and we killed all those people, but they had enough pull to get us to be told to stand down from killing them. So we, now that I'm thinking about it as another kind of
You
trope.
could literally like tie that into Splinter Cell maybe?
Well, I mean, technically now the Ghost Recon and
Well,
Splinter
yeah,
Cell
yeah,
are kind of in
I
the
guess
same
the-
universe.
I guess in that way it makes sense.
But we don't know how far. I don't remember how far Future Soldier was ahead.
I don't remember either. All I know is that from Blacklist to Wildlands
It was
7
7
years. Which,
And
I mean, dude, Sam has to go up in his 60s now and he's like,
he still looks like Sam Fisher.
all I was saying is the dude,
He has nanomachines. I'm just saying.
all I was saying was the dude ages well and he's still a badass.
I'm telling you, nanomachines. It's right. Sam's gonna live forever.
I hope so.
But
I like that little like moment of solidarity, like when he realizes Snake's gone.
Yeah,
Just I'm the last one or whatever his line was. I mean, that was brilliant.
yeah, that was just a cool little nod of the head too.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about Splinter Cell story, you're gonna, to me,
It needs to be the nuclear one. I didn't mean
it
to
needs
just
to be nuclear. It needs, or possibly with that intelligence that we grabbed in Wildlands with that, and it could take place after Wildlands and follow that specific operation.
I think that
It
actually
could
a
fall.
pretty cool way to start the game is you leaving. Where was it? Bolivia.
I think so.
Yeah. So you leaving Bolivia, like you getting into, I'm assuming some type of helicopter or something, and
Probably Paladin probably lands and you.
yeah.
go into
Or
it.
that one,
Skyhook.
the skyhook. I'm okay with that too because I love the skyhook.
Yeah, but it could start there. It could start, somewhere in between Blacklist.
Oh,
and
okay.
Batman.
So if we're gonna go the nuclear route, let's say it's more
That
than
sounds so wrong, by the way.
but as far as stakes and everything, should there be a nuke that goes off?
No. The reason why I say no is because, one, it's not impossible for Sam to fail in a mission. I mean, the EMPs went off in Conviction. I don't remember what went wrong in Double
Something
Agent.
went wrong in Double Agent and in Blacklist.
And in Blacklist, so much more things.
A lot of things went wrong in Blacklist.
So it's
as far
not
as
impossible.
him failing.
Yeah, so it's not impossible for Sam to fail, but the problem with having a nuke go off is,
You know how I like the explosions in video games?
yes, I know you do, but the problem with a nuke going off is the game then had the series, because this is all one continuity from Double Agent to now. You have to deal with the nuclear fallout of that, and you have to deal with, okay, this nuke goes off. What if whatever nation it goes off in?
What if it just goes off in space? Then you still have the radiation, but does it go back into the Earth, or does it get burned up in the atmosphere?
I have no idea. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how that works.
Hey, I want answers, damn it!
But the nuke going off there could, lead to other nations nuking each other. I mean, that's the whole point of nuclear deterrence. Is that we don't bomb
so maybe
each
that's
other.
the whole point of Sam's story, is to be that deterrent and.
Well, but what I was getting at though is that because if a nuke goes off, you have that problem to work around, but it's also the fallout and everything with the radiation. So it's like, how do you work that? Like, you can work off an EMP going off, because granted, I don't know.
Oh, it was just a power surge.
I don't know all the technical details of how an EMP works, what kind of damage it does over long term, or if it's just a literal short term kind of thing. I say short term, but relatively speaking, in comparison to nuclear fallout. But you can work with that, but with nuclear fallout, I feel like that's you could have Sam stopping the nuke, like, at the last moment, but I don't think you could have a nuke go off and not, because
what I would like to see, at least, and I know we're gonna differ on this, is at least a nuke be launched. Maybe it doesn't have to blow up on Earth or something, but at least the pressure of the nuke is launched, and Sam's flying, trying to disarm it or disable it or take it out, and when it gets its peak thing, if it's on a ballistic thing, like take it out in space or something. I personally would like that type of state, because it would be stressful for Sam and everyone else.
Yeah, but I think you don't have that long once the nuke was launched. I think it's
don't
only
know how it works. I don't sit there with a button and go,
Yeah. I think you only have hours once one's launched, depending on where.
But does it go out of the atmosphere and then back down?
Yeah.
Depends on. It depends
on
that's the thing. It depends on what it's launched on.
Yeah. And the thing,
because it would be total chaos. It's last mission of the game. Sam's on the ground. Whoever you're going after launches the thing, and you have X amount of hours to disable it, disarm it, shoot out of the air, or whatever. And Sam's flying around in space trying to either launch something up to get it, or like disarm, like electrically disarm it by like a computer or something. I don't know. I think the stake would be, not that stopping a nuke, the stake isn't high anyways, but you disagree?
I disagree completely.
Well, you know what? No, fine. You know.
Like, I think in Ghost Recon Future Soldier, possibly a nuke was launched in that, and that's what they took out with that advanced technology.
And then it was a satellite, or something, right?
Then it caused all that giant shockwave and explosion basically, with a shockwave and destroy all the glass and all that kind of stuff. I think they took out the nuclear warhead in that with futuristic technology, which I'm cool with in that game, but Splinter Cell, Conviction, Blacklist, and
it's not that far in the future.
It's not that far in the future. And granted, you can loophole it by saying it's kept underground technology that no one knows that we have. I mean, there's probably stuff like that that does exist. That as people don't understand that governments all around, not all around the world, the major superpowers of the world have, that we don't know the kind of technology, where they're at with all that kind of stuff. So I don't doubt that possibility. It's just, as much as
but the problem is I don't remember what tech was in Wildlands. I don't remember if there was like the invisibility cloak type things like there was in it. I don't think there was, but I don't remember what type of technology was in Wildlands. So that's, I don't know. But either way, I want to see high stakes, and I think the best way to do that is include the Wildlands story in it, as far as where it ended, and have these high stakes of nuclear war and whatever was going to end. Their intelligence community.
I have no problem with the threat of nuclear war being the stress.
You just don't want a nuke launch.
Yeah, I just think that launching a nuke, that causes too much problems for the story that they would have to tell. And whether
you could have a Saints Row 4 moment, play Aerosmith.
So stupid. It's amazing.
That was hysterical.
It's amazing in Saints Row, not in Splinter Cell.
I know. I was just making a joke.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just letting you know that that'd be stupid in a Splinter Cell game.
We're not gonna climbing on the missile. Aerosmith blaring.
Play Aerosmith in a Splinter Cell game. But regardless, I have no issue with the nukes being part of the story, or like that be where we pick up in a Splinter Cell game. I have no issue with that, and I don't really know what they can do besides that, because I don't know how many Splinter Cell games there have been, what kind of stories they've told with them, because I don't, like I said, the only ones I know are Double Agent, Conviction, and Blacklist.
There's one called Chaos Theory, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about them, and so I don't know what kind of. I mean, there's so much you can do talking within the Tom Clancy universe of things of Splinter Cell with Sam Fisher, all that stuff that's there. And for a Splinter Cell game story mode, I don't know what I would want out of it, but as long as it's still some kind of stake is there and that you have a well put together story with it, I'll be okay with it. Just make sure that when you're doing it, that the combat and everything is still.
I thought the combat was superb in Blacklist.
I thought it was very fluid and everything. That's what, to me, is how you level out whatever the story that they do is. I think that they can have a really intense story. I just want to make sure that when they do the intense story, that they still have the intense combat, just the general fluidity that was in Blacklist, because I like the style that they started going towards. And I had nothing against the Double Agent stuff or the original one, granted, that we played on the PlayStation 2. It's just
Conviction. I still remember the double jump.
Yeah, Conviction was, to me, my favorite story mode, and I think that the combat in that was a really good start for what they eventually evolved on with Blacklist. And definitely with the idea that you can, ghost or Predator through it, or just go through it. So I like that. So as long as they keep to that kind of thing with the combat and the gameplay, and then just make it a really good story.
One thing I'd like to say, and I know it might smack me for it, mirrors. The reflection of the mirrors that
you need to get over this fetish.
No, I was just saying, because we were talking about Hitman earlier, and now we're talking about a legit, not that Hitman isn't a legit stealth game, but I was just saying there's a lot of sneaking in the Splinter Cell series, so I mean, mirrors.
I don't think there's much time. I don't think there's many opportunities for mirrors in Splinter Cell.
Just being a dick.
I'll stop.
But either way, I mean, I hope.
I'm looking forward to a Splinter Cell game. I'm really
hoping this E3 comes along and they're like,
Splinter Cell game. I'm hoping that there's another Splinter Cell game, just because I've always enjoyed them from every single one that we've played.
I've never played one and gone, played, and I've loved every single one I've played.
I just enjoy it.
And I hope Sam's not much of a dick this time at the beginning.
With Splinter Cell, they're just a departure from the usual games that we play, whether they're open world games or just first person shooters.
I'd like to see Vic though with us.
Yeah, I like to see Vic again, just because I like Vic a lot. And if they have him narrate the entire
I was like,
game
if he narrates everything, I will be good as golden.
I like that.
So Sam.
But I hope that they do another Splinter Cell game. And I don't see why they shouldn't do another Splinter Cell game, just because Splinter Cell has been an awesome series in general. And you can keep aging Sam, I guess. I
hope they don't age him too much.
I don't want them to
we were making jokes before we started filming, like, what if they go the Metal Gear 4 route?
Like old Snake.
With, like, old Sam.
Yeah, but just old Snake. I don't know how I want them to do that. Like I say, you can keep, saying it's 2030, 2040, and Sam Fisher, still be alive. Just, I won't judge, just because I like Sam, and I enjoy playing the Splinter Cell games, so I don't really care how far in the future, and all of a sudden Sam is still alive, just nanomachines and just loophole it.
What you also could do, though, and we can end on this note, but what you also could do, not that I wanted to do it, but you could go back at Sam's heyday, like when he was first starting out, more or less.
Yeah,
not like when he was first starting out, but just like go create things and input into the story that we haven't seen. go back in time so Sam would be young again and create. I don't remember like the time frame of like when he started and everything. But you can whatever was going on at the time, whether it be the Cold War, whatever the case, or like the Cold War, whatever.
I think he was around when Reagan was in office.
Yeah, so I mean,
I remember there being a line, I think, in the first when
that
on
you
the PlayStation 2, Sam laughing as him and his daughter on a boat or somewhere, and her smiling and her saying something like, "You haven't smiled this much since the Reagan days," or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I mean, you could go back into like the Cold War.
Why I remember that, I don't know.
But you could go back into like that Cold War era and have him be like infiltrating and things like that. So
the accent of the Cold War, at least.
Yeah. Or I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with Sam.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could go back.
You could go back in time.
I prefer to keep going forward. Not like age him to the point he's like an old man, like can't walk or nothing like that. You can't walk and you can't shoot for shit, you're fired. I would like the whole. I like the nuclear thing. I think obviously that the teaser wasn't Wildlands like, hey Sam.
Yeah.
But
I just hope that they do that Splinter. I don't really have any qualm with them going back in time or going forward in time or picking a place between Blacklist and that or picking a place between Conviction and Blacklist or whatever. I don't really have any problem with where they choose to do the story.
I just want more Sam.
I just want more Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher just because it's an awesome.
It's a classic.
Just like I would love to see another Future Soldier. I don't know if they ever will do one. I mean, I don't know how successful Wildlands. I'm not saying that to be a dick. I don't know.
I mean, I think they're doing pretty well. And I mean, you have the Division 2 coming out. You had Wildlands. What was it last year, or the year before?
I don't know how it was received or anything. So I don't know are they planning to do Wildlands 2 now? Or are they planning to do just a different Ghost Recon area? Or what they're gonna do?
That's the great thing about Ghost Recon. I mean, you can tell just about any story.
Yeah, and you can just change the characters because it's the Ghost unit, and that's cool to me. But I would love to see another Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I haven't played Wildlands yet, so I can't say anything about that yet. But I would love to see another Future Soldier just because the first one was just so much fun.
Anyway, so those are our thoughts and theories on the Splinter Cell as far as where we think it could go. Obviously, we kind of went through our play history with it, but I mean, it's the discussion that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure if you enjoyed the video, you headbutt the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let us know what video game you want to see us talk about next. So this is Nerdygymbros signing off.